I'm so happy today. I'm Dr. Jyoti, Medical Director of Ferty9 Fertility Organization. ఇది ఒక 11 సెంటర్స్ ఇన్ ఏపీ తెలంగాణ. సో ఈరోజు ఇక్కడ మేము అందరూ ఉన్నాము. ఎందుకు అంటే ఒక మంచి ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్తో. సో మీకు అందరికీ తెలుసు ఫర్టిలిటీ అనేది మొత్తం కంట్రీలో డిక్లైన్ అవుతుంది, బిలో రీప్లేస్మెంట్ వాల్యూ. అయితే మన కంట్రీ ఈజ్ నోన్ ఫర్ యూత్. ఇలాగే మనం వదిలేస్తే ఈ ప్రాబ్లం రేపు వచ్చే రోజులో మనం యూత్ని చూడము. సో ఈ ఇష్యూని మనం ఇప్పుడే దీన్ని ట్యాకిల్ చేయాలి. దీనికి ఎలా చేయాలి, దీనికి సొల్యూషన్ ఏంటి అంటే మన కంట్రీలో రీసెర్చ్ ప్రకారం ఇండియన్ విమెన్ ఓవరీ అనేది ఏజ్ ఎక్కువగా అవుతుంది, 6.3 years. ఇది స్టడీస్ ప్రకారం. సో మన ట్రీట్మెంట్ ఏదైతే ఉందో అది ఇండియన్ స్టాండర్డ్స్లో చేయాలనే దానికి చాలా రీసెర్చ్ జరగాలి. ఇప్పుడు గమనిస్తే గ్లోబల్ ప్లాట్ఫామ్లో మన స్టడీస్ చాలా తక్కువ వేరే కంట్రీకి కంపేర్ చేస్తే. యుఎస్, యూకే, జపాన్, చైనా వీళ్ళందరూ చాలా పబ్లికేషన్స్ చేస్తున్నారు. ఇండియాలో మనము పబ్లికేషన్ అనేది, స్టడీస్ అనేది తక్కువ. ఇది ఇండియాని గ్లోబల్ ప్లాట్ఫామ్లో రిప్రజెంట్ చేయాలని ఒక ఉద్దేశంతో మేమందరు Ferty9 Fertility ఆర్గనైజేషన్లో ప్రొఫెసర్ రాయ్ హాంబర్గ్, హీ కమ్స్ విత్ 50 years ఆఫ్ ఇమ్మెన్స్ ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్, 300+ రీసెర్చ్ చేశారు, పబ్లిష్ చేశారు గ్లోబల్ ప్లాట్ఫామ్లో. మేమందరూ తన బుక్ చదువుకొనే అంటే ఫర్టిలిటీ ఎక్స్పర్ట్ అయ్యాం. చాలా ఎమోషనల్ డే. తను వచ్చి ఇండియాతో కొలాబరేట్ చేసి Ferty9 Fertility ఆర్గనైజేషన్లో డేటాని ఒక స్ట్రక్చర్ ఇచ్చి మన కంట్రీలో చాలా స్టడీస్ చేయాలి, గ్లోబల్ ప్లాట్ఫామ్లో రిప్రజెంట్ చేయాలనే ఉద్దేశంతో వచ్చారు. థ్యాంక్ యూ సో మచ్. అండ్ వినేష్ జీ మన CEO, హీ ఈజ్ బ్రెయిన్ బిహైండ్ ఆల్ దీస్. తను వీళ్ళందరినీ డాట్ని కనెక్ట్ చేసి మన ఇండియాని గ్లోబల్గా రిప్రజెంట్ చేయాలి. అండ్ హ్యావియర్, హీస్ ఆర్ ఎంబ్రియాలజిస్ట్ అడ్వైజర్, స్పెయిన్ నుంచి హీ హాస్ కమ్. అండ్ ఎందుకు అంటే దీనివల్ల ప్రెగ్నెన్సీ రేట్స్ అనేది ఇంక్రీజ్ అవుతుంది, ఆప్టిమైజ్ అవుతుంది. ఆల్మోస్ట్ మన చూస్తుంటే ఇప్పుడు వీఆర్ డూయింగ్ వెరీ గుడ్, బట్ ఇంప్రూవ్ చేయటానికి స్టాండర్డైజ్ డేటా కావాలి మనకి. సో వీ కెన్ హెల్ప్ ఆర్ చైల్డ్లెస్ కపుల్ వచ్చి మన దగ్గర ట్రీట్మెంట్ తీసుకొని ఒక బండల్ ఆఫ్ జాయ్ తొందరగా బేబీతో వెళ్ళాలనే ఆశతో స్టార్ట్ చేశాము. మీ అందరిది ఈరోజు ఉన్నారు. అండ్ వీ ఆల్సో హ్యావ్ రెస్పాన్సిబిలిటీ, మెసేజ్ స్ప్రెడ్ చేయాలి. అండ్ పిల్లలు లేక బాధపడే వాళ్ళు వచ్చి చక్కగా ఒక హానెస్ట్గా, ట్రాన్స్పరెంట్గా, ఎథికల్గా, సేఫ్గా ఉన్న సెంటర్లో, అంటే ఆర్ఐ విట్నెస్ అనేది ఒక టెక్నాలజీ, వాళ్ళ గ్యామిట్స్నే వాళ్ళకి ఇచ్చే టెక్నాలజీ, మిస్ మ్యాచ్ అనే క్వశ్చనే లేదు. అవన్నీ Ferty9 ఆల్ సెంటర్స్లో ఉంది. అండ్ పిల్లలేక బాధపడే వాళ్ళు పిల్లలతో వెళ్ళాలి. అండ్ మన ఇండియా అనేది గ్లోబల్ ప్లాట్ఫామ్లో ఉండాలి అన్నదే ఒక సీడ్ ఈరోజు మనము వేసాము. అండ్ దెన్ దిస్ షుడ్ రీచ్ ఎవ్రీబడి. అండ్ రూరల్ పాపులేషన్ వాళ్ళు కూడా సైన్స్ ఉంది, టెక్నాలజీ ఉంది, కంపాషనేట్ కేర్ ఉంది. మీరు వచ్చి పిల్లలు లేక బాధపడే వాళ్ళు అన్ని సొల్యూషన్ ఉంది, బేబీతో వెళ్ళాలని ఆశిస్తున్నాం. థ్యాంక్ యూ సో మచ్.
హలో ఎవ్రీవన్, థ్యాంక్ యూ సో మచ్ ఫర్ బీయింగ్ హియర్ అట్ అవర్ press conference. We are doing this press conference because we have a very special announcement today to make. We have a special guest with us, Prof.Roy Homburg. And we also want to share our plans and future in research and patient-centric care with you. So on the panel today we have Prof.Roy Homburg. He is an internationally acclaimed researcher and a fertility specialist. He has over 330 publications and 14 books under his name. He has done an enormously brilliant job in PCOS and research related to it. Next to him we have Kadia. He is the CEO and Executive Director of Ferty9 Fertility Centre. Under his leadership, Ferty9 has grown immensely, and now you can see it's a leading brand in South India. Next to Professor Roy, we have Dr. Jyoti. She is the Medical Director of Ferty9 Fertility Centre, and as we call her, she is the Queen of Ferty9. And under her clinical expertise, the patients have been, able to receive the best care, the best international care that we can, provide to our patients. And last but not the least, we have Mr. Javier, who is a very renowned and internationally acclaimed embryologist from Spain. And under his leadership, Ferty9 labs have grown and we have matched the international lab protocols. So today, now I give the mic to Mr. Vinesh Kadia to share the special announcement with you all.
Well, thank you very much for spending time and coming for this important milestone announcement press conference for Ferty9. And I feel privileged and honored to have Prof.Roy Homburg with us, whom I know him from last 20-25 years, but he is a authority in clinical research in reproductive medicine from last more than 5 decades. And a warm welcome to Dr. Jyoti, Medical Director Ferty9 and our Queen, who leads the clinical ecosystem, and Javier, who is one of the most acclaimed embryologists and somebody who has a very rare combination of being a very good embryologist and has seen the chaos through in India of bringing the best protocols and best practices of embryology from across the world to India. As we all know, infertility is a major public health challenge we have in the country. And if I have to start with little positive aspect, India has the highest young population in the world, which we all know, but there is also one very interesting evidence-based report that India has one of the highest urge of parenthood in the world. So in our country, we define our happiness by seeing our family and getting married and having children. And hence infertility is also a big emotional roller coaster in India, because we have a very high urge of parenthood in our country. With the changing lifestyle, we also have highest number of infertile couple in the world. We have now more than 50 million infertile couples in India. Of course, all the research paper will say 34 million couples, because it is dated on 2010 population census. We have not done our population census in last 14 years. So it has crossed more than 50 million if you put the delta of last 14 years growth of young population. Hence, it is very important that we spread right knowledge and we educate the mass on infertility being a medical disease, and it should be treated by coming to a right place at right time, helping couples to achieve their dream of parenthood. We recently concluded last 2 days of a scientific feast. We did a international conference on reproductive medicine called Ferty9 2025, where we had more than 1,000 delegates attending the conference, and it was a grand success, which also gives us the glimpse and importance that imparting right knowledge, helping gynecologists to treat infertile patients better is so crucial in the current times. At Ferty9, our vision is very simple: to give accessible, ethical, evidence-based practice for helping millions of infertile couples in India to achieve their dream of parenthood. In our pursuit of excellence to do what is best in interest of patient, we are honored to announce our partnership with Prof.Roy Homburg, who, as I said, is the father of clinical research, especially in the topic of PCOS, polycystic ovarian disease, which is very common in Indian women. One of the most potential reason why we have infertility in India. If I can give you maybe a glimpse, in early 90s when I started my career as medical representative, working in one of the pharma company, I used to go and promote my products to gynecologists in India for treating infertility. And to my surprise, when I was at 21 year of age, 22 year, most of the gynec told that we don't have knowledge to treat infertile patient because it was never part of our curriculum in MD or MS gynec. And hence we don't know how to treat. At that time, I used to distribute a textbook of PCOS written by Prof.Roy Homburg to gynecologists for them to learn how to treat infertility. So it dates back very, very early. His contribution of helping gynecologists to treat infertility dates back in early 90s. And we have seen him delivering guest lectures, doing clinical research across the globe. And as Mandvi said, 354 clinical research papers in his name and 14 books written by him speaks by itself the kind of potential path-breaking work he has done. So we are honored to partner with Prof.Roy Homburg. He with an intention that he can help our clinical team to do more clinical research in the field of infertility, and by that we can use more evidence-based protocol to treat infertile patients. So happy to announce this partnership, and again I'm saying we feel privileged and honored to have this. Thank you very much.
Thank you, and good morning, good afternoon. It's such a pleasure to be here. I'm delighted to be associated now with Ferty9. I first met Mr. Vinesh Gadia, must be 25 years ago now, when he was working for Nova, and then he invited me to give several lectures here in India, and I was always so welcomed and well received in India that I absolutely love coming here. This time he asked me to come to Hyderabad for two reasons. The first was to give a lecture at Ferty9 Gyan, which I was pleased to do, but also to discuss, to start a coordination and a cooperation for doing fertility research in India. So I jumped at the opportunity because I've known Vinesh for so long. I recognise his enormous enthusiasm for promoting fertility knowledge and fertility treatment in India, something which I greatly respect, and if I can help in any way, then I'll be absolutely delighted. I want first to refer to the conference that we had in the last 2 days here in Hyderabad, the Ferty Gyan. It was a wonderful 2 days of presentations from people mainly in India, with a few from the UK as well. And the level of the presentations that was made was tremendous. It was a real opportunity for more than 1,000 people who were registered. Now, getting more than 1,000 people for a private congress is a tremendous achievement on its own. And it just shows the enthusiasm of the Indian gynecologists and fertility people to really learn and understand and improve their own treatments. So this was a wonderful conference, and I was very, very privileged to be part of it. Now, why particularly is my interest in infertility in India? Because, as Vinesh has just said now, there's a tremendous opportunity here to improve our treatment. There are so many people in the, I think somebody quoted 30 million couples that are suffering from infertility. So surely we can improve on that sort of situation. And this will present a real challenge, certainly for me here. So if I can help at all in any cooperation to get some good research going, if I can help at all, then I'll be absolutely delighted to do it. Why research? Well, research, apart from being fun, which may sound a little strange to you, but there is nothing better than the satisfaction of asking a research question and getting the answer by doing well-prepared research. And in that way, the end product is to improve our treatment of our couples. And this is one of the main objectives of research. Research is really a very basic part of our practice, and this is why I will enjoy so much if I can help getting this really going with the cooperation with that we've had in India. The reason why I'm enthusiastic about this cooperation is that you have the people, the facilities, all the conditions now in India for doing good research. And I saw this a couple of days ago. I was taken to visit the Ferty9 clinic here in Hyderabad. A tremendously impressive place, as much as I've seen in, as well as I've seen in Israel, where I worked for so many years, and now in the UK. You are right up there with the strength of the work and the facilities and the people that you have in the clinic here. So this will be my role here. I'll be delighted for this cooperation and really hope we can get things moving here. And I just want to take this opportunity of thanking everybody at Ferty9 for the invitation and the opportunity for me to have such a challenge and the opportunity to try and help as much as I can. So thank you very much, sir and madam. It was going to be a pleasure working with you. Thank you very much.
A very good afternoon. Thanks for each of you for sparing your Monday for this important program. So having said that, we are all gathered here for a reason. The reason being our country. We are all, end of the day, very proud to do something better to our country. Having said that, there is an issue. We all know that the fertility rates are declining in our country. And it is now below the replacement value. So what do we mean by this? See, India is very proud, and India's strength is youth, the youth population. We are very proud of it. And imagine if this fertility decline is not addressed now, in coming decades, there will be fall in the youth population, which we are very proud of. So this has to be addressed. So when we see this, what is happening to our country? There are many reasons. As a gynecologist and a fertility perspective, it could be reasons like, delaying the pregnancy, delaying parenthood, one of the main reasons which is now, and others like polycystic ovary, our cultural ethnicity, our genes are very different from the Caucasians. So right now, if you see, all the studies what we see in global platform is published from different countries and different organizations, from US, from UK, from Japan, from everywhere from globe. If you see, our Indian studies are very few. There is definitely a gap in between the number of publications, what we as Indians, actually the potential what we have to represent, take our country to the global platform is something which we all should contribute for. Having said that, why are we not able to do this? It's because there are few gaps. Maybe it's our infrastructure, maybe it's the funding, maybe a set of strategies where we plan to get a good data. It has to be in a proper streamlined way. So when some brains like this sit together, we do understand we can put our potential and put our country in the global platform. How do we do this? There is a challenge. But end of the day, I'll give you an example. There was a study done a couple of years before which states that it is a comparison between Indian genes and Caucasian genes. It is proved beyond doubt that Indian women, not the age but the ovarian aging, that means the fertility age, we age faster 6.3 years compared to the outside ladies, Caucasian ladies. Now, if you see the treatment aspect, we all follow the published data, but we don't consider our ethnicity, our cultural background. And when we, for the gynecologist, why is it so important? Because whatever is published, we follow. are we following right for our women is a big burning question. We take data from globe and we put it to Indian women, but are we failing in treating her better? We do have an opportunity. And how can this be done is by getting, people from who have vast experience, like Sir Professor Roy Homburg sitting next to me. It's actually getting science to our country. And also the 50 years experience you have, I can just give this emotional quote. All fertility experts in India have grown in fertility by reading his books. The 15 books what he has put physiology in such a beautiful perspective. We have all grown reading his books. And the kind of publication, 330 publication, I think he deserves an applaud for this kind of immense contribution of him to the reproductive space. So I never dreamt that I'll be sitting with him on a dais like this, getting the global perspective to our country and putting our country in the global platform. What else we need in India? What else? Just being a doctor sitting in a clinic is not, when we have a potential, we can do better. And every day if we become the best version of ourselves and to put our city, our country in the global platform is, I can't expect anything which we can do. So today I'm really honored and privileged that a master in the fertility medicine, a maestro, where everybody in the globe has learned from him, he's coming to India and to our city and helping us to streamline, structure our data. We have data, but it is not structured. He coming to Ferty9, seeing our center, saying that this center is a benchmark which represents global platform, and why don't we all sit together, plan proper strategies, get all the data and see how we can benefit to our Indian women. So this is our next program where we are announcing, we are collaborating with Sir and do a lot of study in Indian women, individualize the protocol, because treatment can't be same for everybody. Our genes are different, our cultural condition is different, our environment is different. And how to optimize pregnancy. And why is all this research for? End of the day, a structured research can do two important things. Of course, putting India in the global platform, doing so much research, and when we go outside the country, seeing India as, taking the studies from India is something which makes us really proud, our country. And second, more important is to help our Indian women individualize the treatment and make sure she gets the right treatment and she goes with a bundle of joy baby in her hand. Because in our country still, for a woman who's coming from different areas and corners of periphery, it's not only about womanhood and parenthood. It's about a purpose of life. Without a kid, we all know, we relate very well how our Indian women are still treated. So getting her pregnancy not only is a joy for herself, it is her purpose of life in our country still. Deep emotions of becoming a mother. And so connecting all these dots, it's an emotional day for me, putting our country in global platform. Professor Roy Homburg helping us do this. I never thought really in my life this day will come. And I think all media gentlemen and ladies sitting here, it's your responsibility also to spread the news when something good is happening about our country. So I do request you, because what we want to do is real transparent work and to do real research and to do real work and benefit our women and our men also, end of the day. So thank you, Vinesh ji. I always, thank you, because we gynecologists are always focused on only treatment. See, if I sit in a room and treat, I can only treat 100 patients a day. But if all minds meet as 50 millions, what he just expressed, why don't we touch these people and make sure the right treatment is planned? This is what we are here for, and thank you, Mr. Javier. He is 2 years I'm working with him, and I know him as such a good human being. You know, he is here, though he is physically present in Spain, but mentally he is in India. Most of the time he spends here trying to, because for a fertility space, embryology is like a temple where even the baby, before it comes to the world, it is created in the lab. So you remember how holy the place should be, how the lab, the environment, he will be addressing it. So I can quote it today because in my journey in being in reproductive medicine for 20 years, the best of the best lab in the country is in our city, in Ferty9. I think what else we need? Thank you, Javier, for taking our country and giving the best treatment for our couples. Thank you.
Very good afternoon to everyone. I'm very, very excited about this announcement and this collaboration. Because I mean, if you look at it, actually for innovation and for medicine, also for progress, inspiration plays a critical role. And we have also this kind of inspiration through knowledge and through people like Prof.Roy Homburg in the last years in our field. And people get inspired about that and keep on having new ideas about what to do, how to improve, and that's something which is really important. So nowadays, I think we are in the age of personalization in our treatments also. We have to be able to find and to tailor our treatments to patients with different conditions, with polycystic ovarians or with obesity, but also with ethnicities, because we also have seen the differences also with the Caucasian population. And we need to be able to provide different services and different approaches to different patients and different situations. And we can do that with basically two approaches. One would be with the best possible quality that we have in our clinics and in our labs. And secondly, would be with evidence. We need to also provide evidence-based practices to our patients, which is the way to really progress with this and to do things in the right way. So with this collaboration, this cooperation, we are not just trying to do some studies and to publish some papers, that for sure we do. We are trying to develop a culture, a mindset within the company. The way of thinking about science is something which is really important, because it's part of the continuous improvement culture and the innovation culture within the company. Even in the conference, and even during the visit to one of our centers in Mandala Hills last Thursday with Prof.Roy Homburg, he was looking at the different areas in the clinic, and he was just throwing ideas. What if we do this? What if we do this also for Spain fertility? He was throwing ideas in the corridor, and people were getting this inspiration to do more things and to do things in the right way, taking data, designing studies, and then to publish this data. So this is what happened really in the Ferty9 conference during these 2 days. It's a high-level quality of lectures with the best minds, also national, also internationally, and the kind of conversations that were also during the coffee breaks and in those areas is something which is raising the quality bar for the entire country, not only for Ferty9. And this is a point which is very important. Also, Dr. Jyoti was talking about this, that we need to, I mean, if you try to do something different in the lab from my side, or even with the patients, you can obviously get some benefits and you can improve your outcomes, which is something really, really nice and impactful. But if you use that data to publish also papers and to improve the evidence-based practices, you are actually helping so many millions of couples everywhere, because that data can be used also proactively to improve the quality of different companies and different setups in different countries. Secondly, when you also do this evidence-based practice and you use your own evidence to publish data, you are also building trust for couples and for different companies. Because when you do this, you have to go through a strict process and control for the publication with also editors, and it's a way to be also transparent. And transparency is one of our pillars in Ferty9. And when you publish your data, it is absolutely transparent. This is our results, people is reviewing that, and then you can also publish that data. So we have so many things involved within science. It's about evidence-based practice, evidence-based practice, it's about results, it's about transparency, and it's also about quality and improving quality overall in the whole market. So I'm really very happy about this collaboration. I think we are going in the right direction. We already have very good results, and now we can also even personalize our treatments and our service to our patients. Thank you so much.
Now we are open for questions if anybody wants to ask anything about research, about how research will help clinical results, how research will help the lab, or overall how clinical research will help India, put India on a global map. Any questions?
So having said that, yesterday I had a whole presentation about the decline in fertility. Hope you were there. It was a 45-minute session, but I'll put it very crisp and clear. See, end of the day, we know where we have come from. And today where we stand is fertility decline in our country. So one of the major reason is advanced maternal age, where a lady is planning pregnancy in a later age. If you see the census, the age of marriage 10 years ago, it was 21, women's age. Now it is 29. So in fertility perspective, you see, there is something called as fertility window. The peak potential for a lady to become pregnancy, what we call per month, we call it as a fecundity per cycle. It is in the earlier age, it is 20 to 22% per cycle, but as she grows 40, it becomes less than 6%, established data. So now, especially in the Indian women with the ovaries aging faster, 6.3 years, what is happening? The time she is getting married, she is already, the fertility window is closed at 29, and then because of now women empowerment, which is very important, but then they're even planning to have a kid later after 3-4 years of marriage. By then they're 30s around. Almost the decline of fertility. We have 2 markers of fertility reserve called antral follicular count, where egg count we do on the scan, and we see a AMH test. That is getting declined, and then when they natural chances of pregnancy is becoming very less at this age. So, but then having said that, for this it's very tough, we can't tell everybody you have to plan pregnancy earlier. Actually, to be very honest, I was never talking about oocyte cryopreservation. It was only in the basket of celebrities before, 10 years before, because they wanted to have kids later. But then how our country is globally going, the age of marriage. So oocyte cryopreservation is something which is coming to help our women, even if they want to plan pregnancy late. This facility is still there in science, where we can freeze their oocytes as well. So to be very honest, another quick point I want to add, why is this happening in our country is because of, India is a very beautiful country for its cultural reasons, for its celebration, but on the other side, food adulteration, environment where we see, pollution what we have, and chemicals like pesticides, where there is something called as endocrine disruptive chemicals like bisulfates, phthalates, bisphenols. They are all study proved that they affect the ovary and decreases the age faster. So we are in a space where we have lot of plastic. Even plastic has all these. See, we are seeing plastics here. We all have to join hands with government and really strengthen to ban plastic in our country. If this goes on, we still see our kids taking plastic bags, heated, all these, food is in the plastic bottles, and all these invariably affects the ovaries and the sperms as well. So this is something which we should take forward. Thank you.
Who asked the question?
Yeah.
So this topic is very close to our heart, and you have asked a very right question, but one sentence which you said was very potential. Once India was a very fertile country, but one thing which is a factual reality is that when we say that once India was a very fertile country, we used to marry culturally very early. It's our genetical potential. At the same time, we have the responsibility also. that we have now clinical research proven that Indian women age 6 years faster than a Caucasian woman. So when we blindly copy Western lifestyle without knowing the strength and characteristics of our genes is one of the biggest reason. And hence today, I can say in my generation, I married at the age of 21, but even my daughter married 10 years later. So today's Gen Z, whatever we say, the new generation, we can't convince them to marry early because that's a lifestyle which is changed so much that it's become the part of our new adopted lifestyle and culture. So one is of course fertility preservation is a scientific solution to this. But second, as what Jyoti madam mentioned, is the pollution in our air, adulteration of what we eat is also impacting on reducing fecundity, reducing fertility potential. And just to be clear, it doesn't affect only women. It also equally affects men. The reduction or the potential reduction of fertility in India. And hence, we have seen this, and I wish with this collaboration of doing good clinical research, we can publish. Semen analysis parameters are dramatically deteriorating in India. And I am choosing word dramatically not to create any theatrics here. Once what was considered as normal semen, poor semen count motility morphology, today is considered normal. So that environmental and lifestyle factor is affecting men and women both. But the age factor of Indian women is a factual reality. That we were getting married in my generation in early 20s, in my parent generation in late teenagers. This is not the reality now. So
one word which has been important in the countries that I've worked in, and that is education. Making the general public aware of this age-related decline in fertility. There's been a big campaign on this in the UK, and it's you, the media, that bear a lot of responsibility in this type of education, because the general population is much more likely to hear from you than individual gynecologists. So this is extremely important, especially in India, as I understood that the age of menopause here is considerably lower than that in the Western countries, at least that I have worked in. As for the question of how to delay the age-related decline, I think if I knew that, I'd be on my way to Scandinavia to get the Nobel Prize. So we've got a bit of work to do, I think, before we manage to sort out that problem.
You know, this is the seed we have put to the soil. It needs some time to germinate. Having said that, that's the whole point of doing a lot of research on Indian women. And today we want to do this good work and help our Indian population. So about oocyte cryopreservation, initially even gynecologists did not feel good to promote this. See, when we see how in pan-India the age of marriage was going, you know, it didn't happen a day. It was a gradual process, right? So when some things are going gradually, whenever there is a problem, there comes a solution also. So even oocyte cryopreservation, though initially maybe 10-15 years back it was only the basket of celebrities.
Even now it's like...
Yeah, it is. But then we were always, though the media along with the doctors, we were viewing it as what is this? It's not any more natural. But having said that, later we understood that the kids born from oocyte cryopreservation is normal to any other population. The safety of that method, the sustainability of the method, and the ease how it can be approached to the normal population is now the burning question. But at least we understood it is very safe and it can be recommended because backed by many evidence. Having said that, even in my own journey of talking about oocyte cryopreservation, it took 3-4 years. Are we doing safe to our Indian women by even talking about it and creating awareness? It was not a one day. It took almost 2 to 3 years for me to convince myself, can I talk about this publicly? After that, now we realize that this is an authentic process, which is as good as, embryos preservation, what we have been doing. Once we know the strength of any process, we become strong. Now we can't tell everybody, go back culturally, get married early. At least we can give a solution for women who is coming to us and saying that I want to postpone my pregnancy. I have so many things piled up in my mind. So first 2 years, believe me, I was telling, why are you doing this? See, fertility is something which you have to concentrate on. You can pursue your dream even at 80. But having a pregnancy is very important. But I failed doing it. How much in my own family, all the Gen Z kids don't want to marry early. So then I came out with, yes, at least the solution is there. Let us talk about this. Let them freeze their oocyte. And it's not so difficult. It is very easy because the medications what we are coming with doesn't have any side effects. And the protocol has changed. Before, fertility was viewed that the long injections, and there was something called as OHSS, ovarian hyperstimulation syndrome, which I can tell it has become almost a ban to OHSS now because of the medications what we have. It is very safe. So having said that, this is what we are trying to create awareness like this about oocyte cryopreservation, and it's your responsibility also to tell the Gen Z kids now that there is a method, and it is just like keeping some money in your bank. Keep your oocyte, but also try for naturally. It's there. If it's there, it will come to your help, but trying naturally is also important. Yeah.
I think this myth about she had frozen her egg 10 years before and she is now safely pregnant at 40, that can be accessed and affordable to every common man in India. It only requires capability in the lab to freeze the oocyte, which I think we have done it to the T in Ferty9. All our Ferty9 labs can freeze oocyte safely, and we have capabilities in equipment, quality of lab and hands. So madam, that's what I was saying, that it looks like it's because celebrities are coming forward and accepting it, it looks like it is celebrity phenomenon. What I'm trying to say is that we have the very high quality IVF service in Ferty9. We get patients from all socio-economic class, including E, D, C, B, everyone. We have so many patients who come walking, who come in auto rickshaw, who come on two-wheelers, and we have so many patients who comes in Mercedes and good cars. All of them, we offer them very high quality IVF, standard IVF quality. If all socio-economic class can afford IVF, all can afford oocyte freezing because it is almost the same cost. It's just that the myth around oocyte freezing is that it is very costly, it is very difficult, and it is not natural, has to be removed by all of us together as team. This is going to be a phenomenon in next few years where all of us will start speaking of fertility preservation as common as today we speak about IVF. I mean, I can ask after Professor Homburg, maybe Javier can give some light on how capability we have developed early on for oocyte freezing, and we get many patients, which is becoming normal.
I think social egg freezing, as it's known, has been a very good advance, but it must be made clear it is not an insurance policy for getting pregnant whenever you want at a later age. We certainly haven't got enough statistics on this. Not everyone is going to succeed, and especially eggs should not be collected for freezing after the age of 37. No way. This is not really going to. It's not going to help. Otherwise, it's a great possibility. Maybe related to this, because I did a recent survey of surveys that have been published throughout the world, and the end result is that natural sexual intercourse is going out of fashion. And the rates in just about every country that was surveyed have gone way down. Now, what the reason for this is speculative, but it's very obvious that this is happening. And I think this relates to the question as well of whether you should freeze your eggs or not, and what is really the cause why you're doing that.
ముందు వాళ్ళు ఫెర్టిలిటీ అంటే పిల్లలు పుట్టిన వాళ్ళు ఉన్నారా?
ఉన్నారు. అప్పుడు ఏమవుతుందంటే యంగర్ ఏజ్లో కూడా ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ ఉంటాయి. బట్ ఎక్కువగా మనం గమనించేది ఎల్డర్లీ లేడీస్లో. సో బట్ యంగర్ ఉమెన్లో ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ ఏముండొచ్చు అంటే ఇండివిజువల్ ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ ఉండొచ్చు, లైక్ పీసీఓడి ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ ఉండొచ్చు, ట్యూబల్ ప్రాబ్లమ్స్ ఉండొచ్చు, అదర్ రీజన్స్ అదర్ దెన్ ద ఏజ్ ఉండొచ్చు మనకు స్పెసిఫిక్గా.
మనం ఒకటే ఈ ప్రపంచంలో భూమి ఒకటే ఉంది, భూమి మీద మనుషులతో పాటు జీవరాశులు కూడా జీవిస్తున్నాయి. సో ఫెర్టిలిటీ సమస్య అనేది ఎనిమల్స్ బర్డ్స్ కంటే కూడా ఉంది, మనుషులకి ఎందుకు వస్తున్నాం ఎక్కువ?
వెరీ నైస్ థాట్ ప్రొవోకింగ్ క్వశ్చన్. నిజంగా మేము ఆలోచన చేయలేదు, బట్ no, anybody has an answer, sir? What he asks is a very good thought-provoking question. What he says, is the fertility problem only for humans, or is it in mammals, animals? Have we done any research on that?
I will give you one very good example. So when we were launching India's first organized IVF chain way back in 2011, the biggest bottleneck was shortage of embryologists. We don't have embryologists in India. We didn't have who were well qualified, well experienced. The first embryologist we found, who was potentially the leader of our new upcoming chain, who was then mentored and trained by Javier, was Deven. If you remember Deven Patel, senior most embryologist. We sourced him from a animal IVF lab. And it was the biggest animal infertility treating lab, which was in a small town in India called Anand in Gujarat. And then after that we sourced the first 3 embryologists who were not from human infertility clinics. They were from animal infertility clinics doing IVF, which was much more advanced than what we were doing in human. This is in 2010. We still sometimes source gametes from CCMB for training. So answering to his question is that animal IVF was much more advanced than human IVF because infertility is prevalent in mammals also. Another one point I think when madam was emphasizing, I want to again emphasize here, accessibility is very crucial because infertility is everywhere. It's not only an urban phenomenon. So in Ferty9, once we partnered with a global investor, with Dr. Jyoti in 2022, we have expanded our network beyond Hyderabad, and we have a state-of-art world-class clinics in Karimnagar, Warangal, Rajahmundry, Tirupati, Kurnool, because we know, and that clinics are thriving. I'm not sure whether I should be saying this. That clinics are thriving much faster than our Hyderabad clinics. So we understand what you were saying as a question. Accessibility in Tier 2, Tier 3 town for rural population is very crucial, and we are being very responsible brand, offering highest quality of treatment in Tier 2, Tier 3 town with the same vision, same mission and same values.
I just want to add one word about infertility in mammals. I actually have no idea. I've had so many problems actually treating humans, I've never got round to treating mammals.